Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So my name is Paulo and today we're going to be talking about how much you can actually earn in Belgium. Okay, so if you want to know more about it, stick around. And if you did miss out on the previous video around the Netherlands, I will drop it on the description below or click on the link to know more. Okay, so specifically this video is around CRM, okay, and take into consideration the fact that Salesforce has grown and is growing quite a lot at an impressive rate, as I mentioned on my last video, and is that the economy, the Salesforce economy, will actually generate around and about 9.3 million jobs till 2026. Okay, so if you want to know more about this and if you want to know more about how much you can actually earn in Belgium, I will also touch upon the general view, not just the CRM side of things. But if you want to know more about this, if you want to get to know more about CRM and how is it that you can actually get one of those jobs, just stick around to know more. Okay. So and just as a heads up for those that actually already took a look at my video around the Netherlands, you can just fast track this because it's going to be essentially the same. Okay, so I'll wait a bit for you to do that. Okay, done? Okay, fine. Let's stay with the other ones. So just to give you a bit of background on this before we actually talk about money, it's important for you to actually to understand the context and the backgrounds of the different tracks, the different jobs that you actually have within Salesforce and what is it that they actually do, so that you can better connect that to your own profile. Okay, not just the technical profile but also your knowledge and also let's say your way of thinking, your mindset. So I think it's important for you also to know that. Okay, so essentially I've been working on Salesforce since 2012 across different countries, one of which is indeed Belgium, where I spent roughly 4 years of my life. So with regards then to the different tracks, and based on my experience, I have four main tracks, okay, that I would like to share with you. So one is then the admin track. So those that would like to work as admins need to understand that you're going to be focusing mostly on admin tasks per se, such as troubleshooting. You're going to be focusing also on building analytics, doing training, also high-level customization or automation, okay, using process builders, flows, and things like that. Okay, so moving forward, what is the other track? So essentially is around developers. Okay, if you are looking then into this role, developers are the ones that actually do the code, that build the solutions on top of Salesforce. May that be using Apex, may that be, for instance, using Visualforce or more advanced automations such as flows. Okay, so this is the developer track. Then you have the other one that is around consultants. So here on the consultants, normally speaking, have more of a functional consultant and more of a technical consultant. You can still have like a kind of a pre-sales consultant as well. Nevertheless, those people are normally focused on giving the best possible advice in terms of what is the solution, looking into the business side and looking then into the tech side or the technology side of Salesforce to build up the solution and propose the solution. So they are essentially the ones that build the bridge between the rest of the team and also let's say the client with regards to this, may that be an internal or external client. Okay, so aside from this, what is it that you should expect being a consultant? You can expect also to build requirements or gather requirements, use more advanced automation and configuration as well. Okay, and also you need to have a good knowledge of business, may that be, for instance, marketing, sales, service, even integrations, etc. It will depend a bit on your domain knowledge. Okay, so that is also important for you to know. Okay, aside from that, then let's talk about the 1%. So 1%, we are talking about architects. Okay, so here you have a split. Okay, and the split is essentially around solution architects and then technical architects. Okay, roundabout we have globally speaking 1,600 certifications earned. Okay, within the architect, let's say, track. Specifically on this, we have roughly 500 technical architects. There are not that many. Okay, and this is why within Salesforce we say that they are then the 1%. Okay, so this is also one of the most in demand, let's say, positions, and you are responsible to give the advice, the direction in terms of building, let's say, the puzzle in terms of the different solutions or the platforms, putting together the technical solution or the let's say the connections between the different parts of the project or of the program. Okay, so this is then a summary of the different Salesforce tracks. Okay, then next let's talk about money. Okay, so stick around if you want to know more. Okay, let's then talk about money. So how much can you actually earn or expect to earn in Belgium? Okay, so before we jump into details, a bit of background, I would say. So the average salary in Belgium is roughly around 48K. Okay, so that translates into 3,500 a month. Please take into consideration that we're looking at two fundamental aspects. One, we are always talking about gross salary, and the other thing is that in Belgium, normally speaking, get paid around 13.92 months a year. Okay, so we are not talking about 12 months, we are not talking about 14 months, we are talking about 13.92. Okay, so taking that into consideration, and let's move then into the CRM space. So I will try to build a connection or establish then a connection between the tracks that I spoke earlier on this video and also the connection to the money side of things. Okay, so let's start with that, and I'm also going to be adding a few more dimensions as we go. So we're going to start always to include, aside from the track, we're going to be talking about more junior position versus more senior position. Okay, so that you have that as well in context. Okay, starting with the admin. Okay, so if we want to start with an admin, you should be expecting to get into roughly into this world, getting to 2,900. Okay, that should be more or less for a junior admin, and then you can move forward and expect to get roughly, if you are a very senior admin, roughly around 4,000, roughly around those marks. Okay, so but let's continue and go into the world of the consultant. Okay, so if you are a consultant, you should expect, and also actually I'm going to give you a bit more than that. Aside from just the junior versus the senior, I'm going to be giving you a split also if you're talking about the Sales Cloud or the Marketing Cloud. So Sales Cloud, aka the CRM, and Marketing Cloud, because it's a bit different in terms of salary, but also about demand. So I think it's important to make notice of that as well, or mention that as well. Okay, let's start then with the first part. So Sales Cloud. So here you more or less are always looking at two types of consultants. So one more, let's say, functional, and another one more technical. Okay, so if you're looking at this position, so should be around 2,900. Okay, and then if you are more towards a more senior position, could be that you're going to be reaching, let's say, the 4,500 in terms of ballpark. Okay. And this is valid for both, let's say, positions in terms of role, functional and technical. Then moving forward, if you are looking more towards the, let's say, the Marketing Cloud, you're going to have most likely higher salaries as a starting point. The reason for this is that, yes, and it's important also to underline that. So we are going through a massive digital transformation, okay, that is impacting several, let's say, sides of business. One of which is also marketing, okay, and let's take that into consideration also when we speak about the money side of things. Okay, so as you stand right now, and due to that, you have less people and higher demand on the marketing side, and therefore the price point around the consultants around marketing it's slightly higher. Okay, so you're expecting to get on some cases as a starting point 3,200, 3,700, and you can grow up to the mark of the 4,000 up to, on some cases, 4,500, roughly around those lines if you are more of a senior role. Okay, so moving forward, and let's talk about specifically about developers. So if you're more of a junior developer, roughly around 3,300, give or take, and then if you go more towards a senior position, roughly around the 5,000 mark. Okay, moving forward, if you are an architect, splitting this also in two parts, so technical and functional architect as a starting point, you should be looking at, if you are a technical architect, you should be looking to get actually higher salaries than a functional one, but you should be looking at getting a bit over 5,000 as a starting point, while if you're a functional architect, you should be expecting to get a bit lower than the 5,000 mark. Okay, so this in terms of more, let's say, junior positions looking at the architect track. More senior positions within this role. So you should expect to get roughly 7,000 plus. Okay, so that's the expectation for both parties, technical and functional architect. Okay, so and what else? So I'm going to give you a bit of a bonus here. So we're going to be talking about two different positions as an extra. So one is the tester and the other one is the project manager. Okay, why? Both of which have higher demand as well. But aside from that, I would say that some people are actually coming from different areas find it easier, let's say, to get into the Salesforce world if they are going to go into the project manager position or even into the tester position as well. Okay, so tester position. So you should be looking at roughly 2,600, 2,700 is not the most highly paid position within the Salesforce world. Okay, as a kind of a reference. And if you're going to move then into the project manager position, more towards the junior, you should be expecting roughly around 3,500 a month. And if you're going to move more to a senior position, roughly around the 5,000 mark. Okay, so those are the numbers, and I'm going to give just this extra special attention to the project manager. Please be mindful, if you're coming from a more generalistic background as a project manager, you'll be struggling a bit more. So here, and looking to the CRM world, you need to be much more of a tech project manager. Okay, you need to be able to actually understand CRM, talk business, engage with the different parts of the project, and actually challenge the technical side as well and give your advice. Okay, so for that, take a look into the link above where I'm talking about the differences between a tech project manager versus a more generalistic kind of project manager. Okay, so with this, I'm closing this part of this video. Hopefully this was relevant and important. Okay, stick around for the last part, the bonus track. Okay. Okay, to close then the bonus track. So if you want to know more about CRM, okay, feel free to reach out to me, drop me a message, and feel free to raise any questions that you may have that may be, for instance, included on anything around the money aspect, but also the role, the evolution, the different work that you can actually do within CRM, the different countries. And if I cannot address your question, I'll put you in contact with someone that can. Okay, so I have more and more an extensive network of people that work within CRM and Salesforce, so across different countries. If you have any questions around that, I'm happy to do so. Aside from that, and a heads up for the next episode, so next time around I'm going to be talking then about UK and how much can you actually expect to earn there around CRM and the different positions, but also I'll give you a general view around the cost of living and working abroad also in the UK. Okay, looking into Belgium, and if you want to know more about this, just click on the link above, okay, where I'm talking about working abroad in Belgium. Okay, aside from that, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully this was an interesting session. Okay, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and join me on this journey. Take care, enjoy, bye bye, peace.